Hey Live, you with Maz One-on-One with the Gilliards. How y'all doing? Well. Another week. The Lord has blessed. And today we're going to be talking about supporting your spouse. I try not to say but you know, when your wife or husband are doing different things, to be supportive and have their back on it. Sometimes it may be something that you may feel like the timing off or something like that, but if you know they truly want to do it in their heart, I feel like you still should support. So that's basically what we're going to be talking about. So, you want to start off?
Yeah, it's very important to. It's very important to support your spouse in different things and different ventures that they are doing, because I know, and it may, just like he said, it may seem like it's the wrong time, but when will the right time be? Because I mean, everything is gonna feel like a convenience because you're so used to having a norm with things. So as far as like when he went back to school for haircut, and I know we talked about it one time. We said, and we was like, okay, well, let's see what's gonna happen. And then like a week later, he was already enrolled in school. Like, we didn't even talk about it. We didn't even really go back and talk about it and see when the thing. What was I pregnant? I was pregnant with our last child. I think, yeah. I think so. I was pregnant with our last child, and so, you know, that's, to me, it was like, that's disrupting. It's disrupting the money because he was the only one working and everything else like that, and so it was just like, this is not a good time to go to school and kind of change the pattern and stuff. And he went, and I was mad. I truly was. Hey Pierre, I was truly mad because he went to school. And we didn't talk about it. Like, we didn't really say, okay, it's time for you to go. But in the end, I supported I supported him. I still do support him. And it's working out. But I was mad.
No, you didn't show that you've been mad. But,
I told you I didn't show it, but I did tell you I was mad. I was like, this wasn't the right time. I said, we only had to talk about it. And he was like, well, I thought we said I was going to go to school. And I said, no, we didn't say that. I said, we just talked about it. We never came to the conclusion that you was going to go. We had just had that one conversation because that was something that you wanted to do. And the only thing you were supposed to be doing was looking around for schools. But next thing you know, you was already enrolled in school.
But it turned out good though, because I ended up getting paid as I was cutting hair. So cutting hair. So it still turned out good, but she definitely supported me. God, I keep saying like, my wife starting to do different things that the Lord has blessed her with. She can bake. So now she's baking cakes and selling cupcakes and stuff now. So like this weekend, that's all she did this whole weekend. She had birthday party, church event. Well, anyway, she was baking all weekend. Yeah. So we didn't really get to spend no time together this weekend. But I'm just in support of her. I'm happy that she's finally launching out there and showing what she can do, because it's been for years. Like, my wife can cook, she crafted with her hands, she can sew and stuff, and she be wanting to start things and then she stops. So that support what I do. I kind of continue to push her to go ahead and get out there, because it's a talent that the Lord bless you with. So let's keep moving. So on a side note, if y'all need any cupcakes or cakes done, she can do it. I mean, I ain't just saying this because it's my wife, but if you already taste her food, you already know what she can do. But I'm just, you know what I mean, we have to support our spouse. If anybody else gonna support her, they should at least feel support from their husband. And sometimes when you want to make decisions like that, sometimes it's just not the right time. But that's something that you discuss or whatever. And even sometimes when you don't feel, you have to compromise. When you feel like, oh, I don't really want her to do this, or I don't really want him to do this. But I think if it's going to benefit your marriage in the long run, then you should support. And sad to say, we got a lot of you have a lot of marriages where the husband and wife jealous of each other, so they don't want them. Yeah, so if you're gonna do something, then I want to do something. But I'm glad that we are not like that. So we are supportive with each other and stuff like that. Sometimes we be like, this ain't the right time, or
but at that time when you went to school, it was, to me it wasn't, but it did work out.
It was it was the right time, because listen, I've basically been like a second job.
It was, but and then I think you were just starting to do the football. You was just starting to coach rec football.
No, I've been coaching before I went to school.
Yeah, but all of that
season
season was coming in, and so it was just like a lot. So it took away the time. It didn't, of course, it was getting ready to have the baby and everything. So right then and there, it was just like, okay, you don't have that time to do it. So to me, it wasn't the right time. But just like I'm saying, just like I said, when you're looking at the big pictures, sometimes it may feel like it's not the right time, but sometimes you just gotta launch out. And yet, even though you may feel bad at that time, be mad at that time, in the long run, it would work out, because a lot of times it's gonna feel like, no, this is not the right time to do things. But you never know. If you feel the unction to go ahead and just make sure you talk with your spouse first before you do anything. Just don't go out there and be making any type of decisions that's going to really change the dynamics of the household or anything. But make sure you sit down and you talk with your spouse, and then let them know like what you feeling, what's going on. Because a lot of people are not happy in some of the things that they're doing. They could be doing stuff for years and then yet still not be happy in what they are doing. So they finally found what they want to do, and that brings them happiness. So it's like, okay, I gotta go to school for this, or this is what I want to do, and it may stop some finances or anything. It may disrupt just a little bit, but in the moment, just be supportive, because that's a big thing, to be supportive of your spouse, because you don't want to feel like you're out there alone, because things like that could also cause problems in the marriage. So that's what you want. So that's why it's great to have that great support behind you when you want to do things, especially if your spouse, and especially when you see that your spouse have a talent for something, or so if you see if your spouse have a talent for something, then kind of push them into that area, to like, hey, maybe you want to work, because different things. Like with me, I'm not confident in the stuff that I do at all. I don't care what people say. People can say whatever they want, and they can say, oh, it was good. And to me, it's like, well, you know me, and I don't think you want to hurt my feelings or whatever. So I'm just still skeptical of what people say about it or whatever. And so that's my problem. And so that's where he comes in with my support a lot. He pushes me a lot, and he tells me a lot of times, like, you need to do this and you need to do that, and I just be like, no, I don't want to, or whatever else like that. So that's another way of supporting, because sometimes that's where your financial blessings is going to come from. That's where your money flow is going to come from the talent that you have. But a lot of people don't want to step out because of, it's like, oh, this person do that, this person do that, and it's like you feel like you have a lot of competition, but then you got to realize it's so many different brands of the same products. It's so many different names. Like as far as sanitizer, so many different brands of sanitizer, bread. So it's just like, yes, it may be other competition, but your lane is your lane, and then once you step out on faith with that, then it'll be open. And it's in so doing that, it's great to have that backing and that support.
because I mean, sometimes we can be on a job for years and be unhappy.
Very much.
You know what I'm saying? So when you get that courage or something to step out, maybe further your education or take a different career path, it's good to have that support from your spouse and say, okay, you can do this. Because sometimes you just need that extra push, even if you're a confident person.
Yeah.
Anytime when you're doing something new or something different, it's always a challenge. So if you got that little push to say, yeah, you can do this, then I kind of give you that unction to keep going and doing it. So so you definitely have to be that one for your spouse to give them that push, the extra push they need, the extra encouragement that they need to go forth. Because like I said, you could be on a job and you can be unhappy and you really want to do something else, but because of you're scared of something different, scared of something new, a lot of times that hold you back. Especially if you're crafty with your hands or anything. It can be open up a tax service. I'm just throwing some things out there, and you have the ability to do everything that you need, but you just, you know what I mean, you don't feel comfortable with it. And I think that's when your spouse should can play that part and say, hey baby, this is a good idea. Let's go ahead and I'll support you in any way and stuff like that. So it feels good to be able to know that your spouse is there to support you, or whatever adventure that you do. Yeah. That's always good. But in some cases you have some that might do too much adventures, and then the wife support be like, all right, now you done try all these things and they ain't work. Now you got to come up with something. So that's a little different, but it's all in supporting one another and kind of giving each other that push. Somebody say something? Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Oh, Dennison said each spouse must be each other's greatest motivator. And
that's the truth. That's true.
And that's true.
Yeah. Because I mean, it'll make you feel some type of way of you trying to do something new or striving for something, and you just feel like you're alone and you're married. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're dating and you're on the verge of getting married, if you're engaged or whatever, or y'all going in that direction, you still want to feel that support from that boyfriend or that fiance or whatever.
You do.
So you still want that encouragement. So yeah, you will need that motivation to go on. So yeah, like I said, if you're looking moving towards that, that's a good starter. You know what I'm saying? To show that that spot. I mean, show that fiance or that boyfriend that, hey, when we're looking to get married, but now you can see that I'm gonna support you in whatever you do. So it's good to have that if you're in a serious relationship and on the verge of getting, you know what I mean, getting married is in the future. So, and
even if it's like a position in the career that they're already in, like that's a great thing to like say, listen, you want to do this, kind of push them to do a better in their career, especially if like a position come up and they already in a career that they like, but sometimes they may feel like they're not confident enough to do that. It's like, man, that support, it means the world to that spouse. It truly means the world to that spouse. And a lot of times you gonna feel like you're pushing out a whole lot of money, because with this thing, with me trying to like doing this baking and everything else like that, it's a lot of money that I be spending. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not gonna spend no money, and I don't know if it bothers him. So it may look like at times it's gonna be more money coming out than more money coming in. But then in the long run, in the beginning, it is that. But in the long run, your money, you're gonna see where it's the investment that you did, because basically it's an investment. And so it's just like whatever you could do, just like really support them, because a lot of people aren't. So to have that at home and that security is everything, to have that security with your spouse, because that's basically what it is. It's some type of is a type of security.
Assurance.
Assurance.
Yeah.
Basically.
So it shows like it's a good feeling to know that somebody got your back. You know what I'm saying? Like truly got your back. So that's how it should be. You know what I mean? With your spouse.
Yeah.
Where they're feeling like, okay, we can accomplish anything.
Things together.
Because we together. So
and you're building together.
No matter what the hurdle is, we gonna take care of this together.
Yeah.
And that feels good to have that. Then on the opposite side where you're striving to do great things and it seems like your spouse is not supportive or they're holding you back. So sometimes you just feel stuck. You know what I mean? And it begins to make you unhappy.
Yeah.
Because just say if it's a career move or whatever, and maybe it's like you say in the same company and you're looking to be promoted, but it takes more of your time, and your spouse say, well, you ain't hardly home now, or whatever the case may be, and they be like, well, no, you shouldn't take it. And then you sit there and you stay in that same position, then you're unhappy. Mm-hmm. And then that can bring on other stuff. Different things can begin to branch off from that. So it's good to be supportive of one another.
And not only that, but it's building together. Like if you're gonna build something, you're gonna build. It's basically like building a house. You're building an empire together, or whatever else like that. And so if one person is just building, it's not going to grow as quickly as it should. Yeah. Like, and then you can't build over here by yourself and then this person doing this over here. That's a house divided. Yeah. It's truly divided, and that's not going to stand at all. So it's just like when you build together, you just see the picture just coming. Because if a person doing a puzzle over here, a piece of the puzzle over here, and then I'm doing some over here, then the picture's not going to come together at all. Until we come together, that's when the picture is going to come together. So
that's a good analogy.
So that's one way to looking at it. Like both of y'all got a vision. Y'all want things to go this a certain way. But if you over here building by yourself and she's over here building by herself, and then it's like, okay, what are we missing? Y'all missing the togetherness. So that's what it is.
Yeah. So you definitely got to, be supportive. And if you're listening and it seems like you ain't been being supportive, I hope this will encourage you to kind of be more supportive of one another. Because sometimes you have marriages where I do my thing over here, you do your thing over here, and then, you know what I mean, it's almost just like we just in the same house. We just roommate. Because I'm handling whatever I'm doing on my job is what I'm doing, whatever you're doing on your job, you're doing. Mm-hmm. So you need to have that togetherness. And when you have that togetherness, even when it comes to supporting one another, it helps build other things when it comes to your marriage. Even when you have kids and they're seeing that y'all are supportive of one another, they learn from that, so they know when they get married and get in a relationship, they see what they need to do. But if they're in a household and they see that y'all ain't got no togetherness, so that's what they're gonna pick up on. So that's another thing we gotta be careful with if we're divided on different foundations of building something together. But you gotta definitely show that togetherness, so you can build with one another. And it, like I said, it'll teach your kids, like they'll see that supportive that y'all give one another, and it's just better that way for me, and won't bring other things into your marriage or into your relationship. Yeah.
So that's all I got for today. I'm tired from this weekend.
Yeah. We thank y'all for tuning in. It's probably gonna be a short one. My wife's kind of ain't feeling too good today, so if we ain't nobody got any questions or anything, we're gonna.
People over there with questions?
No, it's just people watching.
Okay.
So, again, we want y'all to subscribe to our YouTube page.
We gonna get that running one.
Yeah. Marriage 101 with the Gilliards. Subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications, like the page, share the page, and the same thing with our Facebook page. Like, share, tag someone, because it may help somebody that's facing something of these topics that we're talking about. So y'all stay tuned until next Monday. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.
Bye.